before I go any further, as I've said on many cases, stealing the line from one of my favorite all-time sitcoms, Martin, meaning Martin Lawrence, Stevie A love the kids. He sure does. Now, that's not to say when I talk about my man, Kenny Beecham, I'm not talking about him as if he's some kid. The man is a 26-year-old man. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that I'm considerably older. Okay? I got about almost 30 years. So compared to me, he's a young pup. But guess what else, ladies and gentlemen? He's a stellar young pup. I loved having him on the show, and I want to take some time to give a special shout out to him for joining me on this No Mercy podcast and talking some basketball. First of all, the brother knows his basketball. There's no question about that. He may have been wrong about a couple of things, like having the audacity, the unmitigated gall to challenge my top 5 list of the guys under the most pressure. I sort of reeled him in a little bit. Got him on that Kawhi Leonard. I had to explain that to him, okay? We know James Harden belonged on the list. We know CP3 belonged on the list. We know the reigning 2-time league MVP, that is Nikola Jokic. He belongs on the list. Hell, Joel Embiid might belong on the list, but you can't leave off Kawhi Leonard. And now that Paul George has got himself injured, there's even more pressure on Kawhi Leonard. He's going to have to step up, answer the call, answer the bell. We all know that. Kenny had to sit up there and rethink his thought process when it came to challenging me on that. But here's the reality of the situation. In all seriousness, I didn't know much about the kid. I had heard a lot about the kid, did my research on him. KOT4Q. You know, it's king of the fourth quarter. That's his social media handle, okay? That's just one of 5 YouTube channels that he has. The kid works hard. He puts in that work. He's on that grind. And more importantly than that, at age 26, being recognized by somebody that I dare say is more established is an incredibly important thing. And it really, really touched me in a certain way because, to be quite honest with y'all, it's what was done for me. If you go read my book, Straight Shooter, which is a New York Times bestseller, and I've been very blessed and fortunate to have y'all support on that, and I really, really appreciate that. I talk about a plethora of stories. I talk about the 7th grade teacher who told my mother I wasn't a dummy when I walked around feeling like I was a dummy because I got left back and held back for the entire 4th grade. I talk about, being a young professional, but before that, being a college student, aspiring to be a professional journalist and being given an assignment to go over to Wake Forest soccer. And I didn't know a damn thing about soccer until a man that's now deceased, his name was Walt Chiselwitz, the coach of the number 3 ranked team in the nation, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons at the time, sit up there and took it upon himself to force himself and his team to give me unfiltered access to all of them, to teach me the sport of soccer, so I could turn around and write an outstanding article that ultimately spearheaded my career in the sports journalism. That doesn't happen without Walt Chiselwitz. Before that, prior to that, am I even in Winston-Salem if Coach Gaines didn't see something special in me? It damn sure wasn't as a basketball player, because even though I could ball in the streets, that's entirely different than playing organized basketball. Coach Gaines saw something in me that extended beyond the court of play. He saw something in me that said to him, this kid has the potential to really, really make a difference. He didn't have to do that. Former financial aid director Theodore Heinzman chewing me out and calling me on the carpet for betraying him, betraying the school, betraying myself by quitting just because I suffered an injury and I decided to go home instead of stay there where I would have been given an academic scholarship. These kind of moments that take place throughout somebody's life are the kind of things that shape who you are and shape what you ultimately aspire to become. It really defines what your character is made of and what it can potentially be made of if you're guided by the right people and you're focused and you care enough, not just to be all you could be for you, but to be all you could be for them as well, who showed their faith in you. And I got to tell you something. When I was in college and before I graduated and I knew I was going to be a professional journalist, I asked Coach Gaines one day, the late, great Clarence Big House Gaines, God rest his soul, what did he ultimately want from me? And I thought he was going to say, just be successful and be the best that you could be. You know what Coach Gaines said to me? It doesn't mean a damn thing if you don't give back. Don't ever forget where you came from. Don't ever forget HBCUs. That's historically black colleges and universities. Don't ever forget those kids on the come up who want to be everything that you want to be now and more. And just like somebody helped you, you helped them. And so when I looked at Kenny and I'm listening to this young brother talking about the game of basketball with his wizardry, with his intelligence, the fact that he has 5 YouTube channels, that he's on his grind, that he's putting in that work every day. What we talking about here? I got these numbers right here in front of me. 1.3 million YouTube subscribers on the KOT4Q channel. 446,500 Twitter followers, 174,000 Instagram followers. Are you listening to this? You know what kind of work this brother is putting in a day in, day out basis? That's why I wasn't joking when I said it isn't the last time he's going to see me. I'm going to have him back on this podcast. That's why I wasn't joking when I said, not only am I going to do that, but I'm going to bring you on First Take. First Take is my television show on ESPN, which airs every weekday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, is the #1 sports show in the morning for 11 and a half years and counting. And I told this young brother that he will be on. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't break my word. Kenny Beecham's coming on First Take. I'm going on vacation next week. Kenny Beecham will be on when I get off vacation. I'm going to bring him on in the month of April. And guess what else? He ain't the only one. Because he ain't the only one striving to do the things that he's doing. He's special. He's one of the elite at it. I give that young brother a lot of props and a lot of love, and he's going to always have my support. But let me tell y'all something. He isn't the only one, because I've always been one to reach back and extend a helping hand to those on the come up. And there's a lot of you out there who want to do what I do, who want to be in the world of sports journalism, who want to be on TV talking about basketball and baseball and football and beyond. And guess what? If you got this kind of talent and you got this kind of focus and this kind of determination, and I've got proof that you're willing to put in that work and to be on your grind and to help yourself build a following in whatever field that you're in. If it's relevant to what I'm doing, I'm going to do my best to try and give you some shine, because that is the true reason I'm here. I've been very, very blessed. I'm kind of successful. I'm on national television. I'm making a decent salary. I'm well known, and I'm 55 years old. I've accomplished a lot in life. I intend to accomplish a lot more in life. Okay. But the reality of the situation is I'm closer to the finish line than I am to the starting line. So at the end of the day, you know what it really comes down to? Do you understand, if you're Stephen A. Smith, that there is no success without a successor? I'm always looking to help. And if you're worthy and you're deserving, I can't promise that to everybody. I ain't got room to help every damn body now. But I'm going to do the best that I can to recognize the Kenny Beechams of the world that are out there. And no matter where they are. But it starts with him. He should be an inspiration to a lot of you young cats out there, male and female, who are aspiring to do the kind of things you see me doing on television. You see guys like Ryan Clark at ESPN and Michael Irvin and Swagoo, Marcus Spears, the Dan Orlovskis of the world, the Kimberly Martins of the world, the Mina Kimes of the world, the Molly Karims of the world, the Monica McNutts of the world. It ain't just the fellas, it's the females too, because I got news for you. Kimberly knows her football. So does Mina Kimes. Monica McNutts knows her basketball. So does Shanae Ogumake, who's on NBA Today every week. The list goes on and on and on. If you're not doing something in my position to help those on the come up, what the hell are you worth? That's why I wanted to take time to start out this podcast, this particular episode, giving love to Kenny Beecham. I'm proud of that brother. And I can't wait to have him on First Take so he can show the world what he's made of. I'm looking forward to it. As promised, he will be on First Take in the month of April. I called the bosses just like I promised. I asked for permission because I don't own ESPN. I do have bosses. I have to answer to people. They have given the okay for Kenny Beecham, king of the fourth quarter. They've given permission for him to come on live national television in April. And I'll decide whether I want him back for more than that. I probably will. So I just wanted to take some time to give him some love and to let y'all know that, okay?